Welcome to this episode of the Arth Systems Amazon Web Services video series. Today we will be reviewing the business proposition of Amazon Web Services. Before we get started today, be sure to adjust your device's speakers to be able to enjoy the audio portion of today's presentation. If you wish to pause the presentation at any time, use the pause function of your chosen video player. Today's topics will provide information about the business benefits of Amazon Web Services, as well as some of the reasons that partnering with Arth Systems can ease the transition to a cloud-based infrastructure. If you would like an overview of the services offered by AWS, please view the AWS overview presentation located on the Arth Systems AWS grid. This overview is also available as a PDF file that can be downloaded for future reference. There are also presentations that contain more technical content related to the migrating of applications to the cloud and implementing disaster recovery using AWS services. The closing screen of the presentation contains information about contacting Arth Systems to begin planning your migration to a cloud-based infrastructure. Cloud computing presents a shift from investing capital expense budgets into the computing infrastructure to growing your computing resources in an operating expense-based model. An on-premises infrastructure is costly and complex. Often the purchase of physical assets results in underutilization of resources that require the time of your IT staff just to keep things up and running. According to Gartner, IT spends 80% of its time just keeping the lights on, instead of developing and growing the capabilities of an organization. Physical assets are inflexible. There may be enough capacity on one server for a given application with computing capacity left over. An application running on another server is capacity constrained. In the physical asset world, the extra resources on one server cannot just be reallocated to the capacity constrained server. Amazon Web Services addresses these issues with a metered, pay-as-you-go model. There are several purchasing options that allow for flexible scaling depending on the needs of a given application. The responsibility of maintaining the physical hardware is no longer consuming the time of your IT staff, allowing them to focus on more important tasks. The scaling capabilities of AWS allow the resources to be utilized where they are needed and no longer leave unused capacity simply consuming power and cooling resources in your data center. The AWS differentiator is the flexibility that allows faster response to demand while containing the associated costs to what is required without overallocation that leads to underutilization of expensive computing resources. This information regarding the financial benefits are taken from an Amazon Web Services IDC study performed in 2012 and updated earlier this year. If you would like more information regarding this study, please use the contact information on the closing slide and contact an Arth Systems representative. This study demonstrates an aggregate of these benefits. The chart depicts the savings that can be realized by a successful cloud services implementation. The benefits listed include user productivity, increase in operating income, increased productivity by the IT staff, and an overall reduction in the associated costs. This data from the IDC report breaks down the benefits from the view of equipment costs. The costs of the servers themselves represents the largest savings. AWS offers all of the services necessary to support a full range of applications, from a simple application to complex big data analytics. The IDC study also found a 500% improvement in efficiency in development activities. Improved efficiency in development and deployment activities will decrease the time it takes to deploy new applications or to deploy improvements to existing applications. Businesses around the world are realizing positive results by moving computing activities to the cloud. The AWS auto-scaling is increasing e-commerce performance by allowing resources to be allocated on demand in a manner that does not disrupt the customer shopping experience. AWS provides the needed performance to support large-scale analytics and the high demand that is inherent to media streaming activities. Summarizing the benefits of AWS can be broken down into 4 high-level categories. First, reduced infrastructure and service costs. This is the most significant benefit due to lower capital and operational costs. Next, the optimization of IT staff productivity. The IT staff can focus on the development process and not on the underlying infrastructure that the new application will run on. Then there's the end user experience, which is enhanced with fewer disruptions and quicker recovery when there is a failure. Lastly, increases in revenue and operating income enables revenue-generating applications to go to market more efficiently with a shorter timeline. With the capital process removed from the initiation of a new project, it becomes possible to fund more simultaneous projects. This allows the weeding out of projects before expending additional resources. Being able to test early and fail fast is a key component of the AWS business proposition. We see our customers do amazing things when they reduce the cost of experimentation. It moves IT from being a roadblock where each idea costs lots of money and takes lots of time to being an enabler where you can launch a speculative project quickly and cheaply. It allows firms to take more chances on ideas and gives them a shot at winning big as opposed to being scared to even try. AWS offers many purchasing options. These options can be mixed and matched to meet the many types of workloads present in your environment. For workloads that have spikes in demand, the on-demand model allows your resources to grow and shrink as the demand changes. For applications that have a static utilization, a reserved model can be utilized. When you have workloads that are time insensitive, it is possible to bid for unused capacity. The spot price fluctuates based on supply and demand. For highly sensitive or compliance-based workloads, dedicated resources can be purchased. Major changes to the underlying infrastructure of a company exposes the business to risk. Partnering with a team that has experience with cloud migrations will mitigate the risk, while allowing your own staff to stay focused on their primary objective of supporting the company and its customers. Per a Gartner study performed in 2013, AWS has the computing capacity to support any business requirement, as well as the services that are already providing the functions and features of today's demanding computing world. Arth Systems is an AWS partner with not only 5 years of experience in cloud development and implementation, but also a strong team of seasoned IT professionals with decades of combined subject matter expertise. Arth Systems celebrates a history of excellence that can be trusted to enhance your migration to a cloud-based technology. While Arth Systems has only been in business since 2008, we have sustained steady growth and have attracted a team of seasoned IT professionals who have a focus on client satisfaction. The Arth Systems consultative approach allows your team to trust that their knowledge in their own environment will be an integral part of any implementation, while being able to draw on the vast experience of the Arth Systems team. Arth Systems partners with AWS to facilitate the expertise of the AWS team in their systematic approach to migrating applications to the cloud. The Arth Systems team holds a number of certifications and accreditations. This depth of knowledge allows your team to trust that your migration will be a seamless collaboration between Arth Systems, AWS, and your team. Arth Systems utilizes a systematic approach that starts with assessments to ensure an understanding of your requirements and your desired outcome. We apply industry-standard project management methods to ensure the right tasks are completed at the right time. We know it is important that your team be prepared to manage the new infrastructure as it is rolled into production. We build knowledge transfer into each step of the deployment process. The cloud migration decision can be overwhelming in its complexity, but if it is broken down to a systematic framework that can be applied from end to end, the vision for the future becomes clear and manageable. Arth Systems ensures that the goals and priorities are well documented at the start of any deployment project. When decision points are required, evaluation criteria is defined in a joint effort between the client team and the Arth Systems team. If there are multiple alternatives for an application, these are documented to facilitate the choice of deployment method. Knowing the goals is important, but it's also important to prioritize them. All phases of a deployment require assessments of performance and quality of service prior to production, but post-implementation validations are also recommended to ensure performance requirements continue to be met. Arth Systems works with your team to identify the goals and apply the criteria in a consistent manner across the organization. There are many goals in implementing a cloud-based infrastructure. Some of the key goals are to decrease time to market, deliver new capabilities to your end users, and support new channels such as mobile devices. All successful businesses have a focus on managing costs. AWS offers avenues to preserve capital and leverage existing investments. These efforts are enhanced with effective management of resources. As you make the decision to move to the cloud, it's important to understand the available benefits and how they correlate to your current infrastructure. The ability to demonstrate the financial benefits to all stakeholders can facilitate the approval of a project. As the project moves forward, it is imperative that your developers understand the technical benefits offered by AWS when architecting enhancements to any application. As with any major change in the underlying infrastructure, there are pitfalls that can be avoided by partnering with an experienced team. The cloud poses a few items that may seem obvious, but falling into them could be the difference between success and failure. It is important to remember that the cost must be calculated differently. If this is not considered, it may be difficult to document the benefits moving forward. Communication is key to mitigate the chance of unexpected incidents as the deployment is performed. It is imperative that the real-world cost of downtime be well understood. Arth Systems employs a robust business impact analysis process to ensure the right level of protection is applied to all applications included in the deployment. AWS itself can present challenges. The services are continually being enhanced and improved, but for example, today the retirement of an application instance can be unpredictable. Awareness of this allows the investment in deployment and monitoring automation early in the project. All of these things can be avoided by utilizing an experienced team to partner with your own team. Arth Systems believes that closing a project well is an important phase. It is always important to have the ability to look back at what was deployed and how everything was configured. When there are questions down the road or maintenance tasks to be performed, having all the information in one place is a valuable asset. Arth Systems provides a complete implementation site guide at the end of each project. It includes all the information regarding the work performed. The testimonials displayed here are only a sample of the results the Arth Systems team attains when their team partners with a client team. So we encourage you to engage with AWS and Arth Systems to move your infrastructure to the cloud. There are many reasons why the cloud-based infrastructure may drive your future business. Everything from a technology refresh to additional capacity to support new projects. It may be that you are either considering outsourcing or you are already outsourced but aren't happy with the results. There may also be business continuance initiatives that can be best met with a disaster recovery solution based in the cloud. Trust is a key component of all Arth Systems relationships. Trust is core to everything we do, every day. We know that building trust takes time. It is the accumulation of trustworthy events that lead to a trusting relationship. Arth Systems is dedicated to effective two-way communication with a focus on all project details. Thank you for your time today. We appreciate that your time is valuable and that you chose to invest some of it with us today. Please use the information displayed to start the engagement process. We look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.